Why do you ride? That question comes up a lot. Friends, co-workers, even strangers at a gas station. And honestly, I used to have an answer ready. Freedom, or to clear my head. But the longer I've been riding, the more I've realized that answer doesn't stay the same. My reason for riding keeps changing, and I'm okay with that. When I first got into motorcycles, I'd already been driving cars for over 20 years. I didn't grow up around bikes. I wasn't raised by riders. It started on a bicycle trip, of all things. I was in Luxembourg at the campsite when I met this older guy on a BMW touring bike. He wasn't in a hurry. He had a tiny stove out, making coffee like he was at home. And something about that just stuck with me. I wanted that kind of calm, that kind of movement. So not long after that, I bought my first motorcycle, a BMW R1150 RT. Big, heavy, practical, but comfortable and built to go far. At first, the reason I rode was simple. I wanted to explore. I wanted to see places differently. And yeah, I wanted to escape. I remember taking long rides without a real plan. No GPS, no agenda, just riding to clear my head. You leave behind all the to-do lists, the screens, and the responsibilities. Just fuel up and go. And that was enough. Riding gave me space to breathe again. Then things changed again. I picked up a 1991 Suzuki GSX 600. It was cheap and yeah, it had problems. I had to learn how to fix things myself. There were days I spent more time fixing the bike than on the road. But it taught me a lot, not just about mechanics, but about patience. Every time I got it running right, I felt like I've earned that right. And that changed the feeling. Now I wasn't the guy riding a bike. I was riding something I'd brought back to life. And that becomes a reason too. The satisfaction of understanding your machine. Knowing every sound, every rattle and every click. It's a different kind of connection. I've done solo rides, but I've also shared the seat. One of the most memorable trips I've taken was to England, with a pillion on the back. It wasn't perfect. We dealt with rain, ferry, switching sides of the road, and the occasional "are you sure this is the right way?" moment. But it made the experience richer. The ride became something we shared. And riding with someone on the back, it teaches you a lot about trust. Not just theirs, but yours too. And then there's the YouTube channel. When I started uploading videos, I figured a few people might watch. What I didn't expect was how many riders would reach out to me. Comments, messages, shared stories, people from all over the world. Some riding for decades, some just starting out. But everyone had their own reason. And reading those stories made me realize I wasn't just filming my own journey, I was part of something bigger. The community is real. Whether it's helping a stranger fixing their bike, sharing routes, or just waving to another rider, there's an understanding there. That kind of connection is rare these days, and it's another reason I ride. There are also days where I ride because I need to clear my head. Not for fun, not for content, just because I need to get away for a bit. Maybe you've had days like that too, where nothing goes right, or your brain just won't shut up. I don't always want to ride on those days, but I do anyway. And usually, somewhere between the engine noise and the wind, things start to make sense again. It doesn't fix everything, but it helps. These days, my reason changes depending on the week. Sometimes it's the joy of fixing something. Sometimes it's about getting lost on purpose. Sometimes it's filming a trip for YouTube and trying to tell a good story. And sometimes I ride without recording anything at all, because I need it to just be mine. Why do I ride? Well, it depends on the day. But the point is, I keep riding. And maybe that's what matters most. Whether it's for the thrill, the peace, the community, or the challenge, the bike is always ready. And the road is always waiting. And I always end up learning something new about the world or about myself. And what about you? Why do you ride? Has your reason changed too? Drop it in the comments. I'd honestly love to hear your story. And if you're still figuring out, just keep riding. The reason usually shows up along the way.